This tutorial is going to be for Juno Eclipse Robe Shadow version, and I'm going to be making the black tunic, and these are examples of someone else's work that I should be following, and the pattern I should be using. And the pattern I should be using is Simplicity 2341, and I should be following this example, and I should be making the tunic arms slightly shorter, and the tunic body will be shorter, and it will have a sharp edge on the collar. Having cut out the pieces to the new sizes, I should be making a pocket which all the equipment goes into, and this pocket will be running from seam to seam. This is the front side, so I've made two pockets that will be sewn on. The top of the pocket will be neatened at the back first, and then I should be sewing the pocket to the bottom. This is showing you the front pieces. Now they've been put together and the pocket has been sewn in, leaving the flap at the top there for the bits and pieces to go into. This is showing the back pieces put together. Now I've attached the front and the back sections together, down the side seams and across the shoulders, and now I'm going to put the lining together, which is exactly the same way that I put the tunic together, but without the pockets. I've now attached the lining to the jacket, and I've sewn it down the front seam, and then it goes all the way along the bottom and then back up the front seam at the front. The next step will be to clip the corners and take off any excess material and turn the whole tunic the right way out. Now we're going to put the sleeves in. When you've cut out the pieces, I've put a running stitch across the top of the lining pieces, and you can't see it, but there's a running stitch on the sleeve. Those are going to be our ease stitching before it goes into the jacket, and when it's cut, the lining is approximately 1 inch shorter than the fabric. And next you sew the side seams of the sleeve. I'm now going to put the collar in, and I shall need 2 pieces of the fabric and 1 piece of stiffener, which will be sandwiched between the two. Right, I've sewn the collar to the main tunic at the top, and now I'm just pinning the inside lining to the collar, and you should have enough lining right in the middle of the collar to create a pleat or a box pleat, and that allows a little bit of give in the lining when you're wearing it. Right, now we're going to set the sleeve lining into the tunic. Turn the tunic the right way out, and then remember that I cut the lining 1 inch shorter. That's to allow for a turn up on the sleeve. Sew the side seam up first, and then attach the sleeve to the lining to the sleeve at the bottom. Just sew it all the way around, like so, and that's the lining on the outside of the tunic. Only sew round the bottom for now. Then turn the tunic inside out So you've got all the lining of the tunic inside. Turn the lining to the inside, and that's where it is attached to the sleeve at the bottom. So that's been turned inside out now. What I'm going to do is leave the tunic lining for now, don't do anything with that. We're going to attach the lining sleeve to the seam of the tunic sleeve, and there's a gathering stitch at the top of the lining, and that will be pulled in. That's an easing stitch, and that will be attached around the top of the sleeve. Okay, after pinning the lining in place, just run a tacking stitch along the edge so it goes through the lining and the tunic, just to hold it in place temporarily. And these are my gathering stitches on the lining. Next, I'm going to turn over a small seam of the tunic lining, and then I'm going to pin it down onto the sleeve, just covering, don't know whether you can see, just covering the tacking stitch. I'm going to pin it all the way around and attach the sleeve to the tunic lining. Okay, I've now run a tacking stitch around and I've taken all the pins out. What I'm going to do now is hand stitch the two linings together along the seam without going through to the tunic. I only want to sew the lining to the lining so it's free. Right, that's all the sleeve lining attached now. All that remains is for the tunic to have a good press, and then it's finished.